Welcome to the Prospectors Radio Show, the talk show for our community. Please welcome Rich Cooley, Ron Harrison, Indiana Gold Hunter Dennis Dayton, Kathleen Biffle, and your host, Tim Grimes.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Prospector Radio. I'm your host, Tim Grimes. Joining me tonight, I got a couple of my co-hosts here and my producer. First off, we got Mr. Rich Cooley. How are you, Rich?
Pretty good. How's everyone tonight?
Doing good, brother. Did you get out and do a little bit of deer hunting?
Yes, I did. I was up at the cabin with a neighbor of mine. He invited me up to his cabin we have up there, and I hunted Friday afternoon, didn't see anything, and then Saturday I hunted till about 10. We were getting ready to wrap up, and he decided to put a push on, try to drive something to me, and he took a shot, and I think he missed one, and they walked right up to me, and I nailed one, and two came, one left. So one left with me, and one left in the woods.
Nice. But you got one.
Yeah, I got a nice doe with my inline, with the muzzle loader. Yeah.
Oh, it was muzzle
So
loader?
I'm going up next week. Friday and Saturday ends the inline. It's only in for a week.
Right.
So I'm going up to try to get another one here, try to get some meat in the freezer for this winter. And
Well, yeah, you have to, right?
then we got a couple more tags left. So
Nice. So you didn't get to do a clean out yet from your crony outing?
no, and it's driving me nuts. I usually don't.
I bet you did awesome.
I don't have cons usually for over a week,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And now that I've had them, it's driving me nuts. I'm going to hopefully try to work on them this week if I have time in the morning there, since I work second shift. So I'm hoping to try to work on them in the morning to get a run in on them, I hope.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
But I got my dredge all on my back deck underneath my deck there at the house, and I got it all covered up, and I'll be working on it this winter to do some upgrades to it. And
Right, you're like a proud papa, ain't you, of that new dredge?
yeah, I gotta mess
It's gonna
with it.
It's
bedazzle it.
a dredge.
I gotta tinker with it. So.
You should pass out cigars. It's a dredge. It's a
Yeah, it's my
4-inch.
baby now, so I gotta get it rocking and rolling. So
Oh, yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah, so I know next year it'll be like, bam, it's done.
oh yeah, there'll be no screwing around. It'll be game on next year.
Yep. So we're going to talk a little about the Crony Club outing tonight and how everybody did and all that stuff. So can't wait.
And Cooley's Corner tonight, we're gonna cover like clog ups.
Oh, okay.
You know what you do in a situation when you get jammed up.
Mhm.
You know, on a dredge, and when you're dealing with a high banker dredge combination. So
Oh, okay. That'll be interesting.
tonight's subject.
All right, good subject. Well, I'm glad you made it, and I can't wait to hear your stories of the Crony Club out in here in a little bit. So, thank you for being here, brother.
All right, thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Also joining us tonight, we got our very own Miss Kathleen Biffle. How are you, Kathleen?
Doing great.
Doing great. How you feeling?
Well, I'm getting over it. I'm still a little sick, but Shad is sick and the kids are sick, so it's gonna bounce around the house for a while.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah. It's kind of good though when everybody gets sick at one time, because usually you can get over it. You know.
Yeah.
And that's usually
We'll
what
see.
you hope for. Everybody gets it at once, so it's not keep going around. But is it from the outing where you was out in the rain so long and all that?
I don't know. I think it's just a combination of allergies and sinus issues. Being out in the rain probably didn't help me. I probably would have recovered quicker, but you know, my gold's not going to find itself.
You're right. It's not going to just jump into your bucket, that's for sure.
That's right. You got to work for that.
Yeah, and you did, and we're going to talk more about that tonight. How's the koi doing?
The koi, I am happy to announce that they are officially coming up and feeding at the top. I think it took me being away for a few days for them to miss me.
That's right. You had to put the fear of God into them, make them think they weren't getting fed no more. See?
Evidently, like, oh, we better go up there. There she is. She's got the food.
She's giving us one more chance. Come on, guys, let's go eat.
Yeah, but it's so cool just to go out there and watch them. It's so relaxing. Oh my goodness.
Do you just go and sit out there now and just?
I just go out and
enjoy it?
stare.
Oh wow, very cool. I bet you do. I would too. It's a beautiful pond.
They're very, very, very graceful when they swim.
Well,
Now that we have a bigger, deeper pond, I can watch them swim.
right. And
Or they were in that little ornamental thing, and they were just like going back and forth, back and forth. They didn't have time to gracefully swim.
Right. Now they can actually swim like real fish, right? They
Yes.
not like they're in a fish
So
tank.
now we're getting ready for winter. They probably will hide, but that's okay as long as they're warm.
Yeah, as long as they make it through the winter, it'll be fine.
The dogs haven't jumped in the koi pond yet.
I wonder when that's going to happen.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, because it's got to happen eventually.
Oh well, they go all around it.
Mm-hmm. But it's going to happen.
Yeah, but I have to say that this is a funny story. I'm going to share
Let's
it.
hear it.
David Bogan and Mita Bogan, as you know, drove all the way from Georgia to come to our cronies outing.
Right.
Well, it was so funny because David was like, well, we were getting ready to leave, and Mita was looking at these rocks, and he goes, oh, he told the kids, oh, she's fixing to bring those rocks. So Mita brought us some more rocks from Georgia.
You got some Georgia rocks.
Yes, and we displayed them very, very. They're strategically displayed on our waterfall.
That's awesome. So rocks from Georgia, from the Bogans. That is great.
And if you look at the rocks on the waterfall, we have a story for almost every single one. Like, we know where we got it. We got that at Bill's. We got this here we got this in Indiana. We got this, it's really cool.
Right.
And then the geodes that we put in there too, that was pretty neat.
That is cool. Be proud. That's an awesome structure you guys got there.
Now I'm not going to want to move.
No, because you don't want to take your pond with you. It's like, I don't want nobody else having my pond. I can't leave it.
I may take the geodes with me.
Yeah, you'll have to take your special rocks, of course. But
yeah.
So anything else happening? Silence. Awkward silence.
No. I think we cut out there for a second.
Oh, did you? You may have. Okay.
Yeah. It's that wonderful internet that we have because we don't have cable.
Yeah, that great router again, huh? Yeah, it's like, she must not have nothing else to say. But I know you got some stories from our outing, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But I just want to thank you for being here, and I hope you feel better soon. Hope the whole family gets better. Awesome.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, you'll be fine. All right.
Usually takes about a month.
Yeah, but everything will be good. Use a lot of Lysol, right? Kill the
Yeah.
germs. Awesome. Thank you for being here, Kathleen. Also joining us, we got our producer joining us tonight, Mr. Shad Biffle. How are you, Shad?
I'm doing well.
Doing
minus the disease that Kathleen infected me with.
See? Should have been spraying her with Lysol.
I'm going to next time.
Carry a can with you or something. Just spray everything. You'll be fine. So what's happening, brother?
Well, we finished our clean out from the outing. Mm-hmm. So Kathleen has been a working machine on the Martin table all week long doing that. So that was cool to dry it out today and weigh it and just see how well we did. And, I think, Kathleen, you posted pictures, right?
Yeah, I put them on the main site.
Yeah, they're on the main page on GPS.
GPS.
Yeah. And
you can see.
Quite amazing how you guys did.
Yeah, you guys killed it, man.
Yeah, I was excited.
It's like, wow.
So we got to add that to our other goals. So we got quite a tally.
You guys are just doing really great. I'm really happy for you. It's like, dang, that is a great total for the outing. Really good. So you guys were definitely...
Was it 3.2 grams?
3.2? Is that what it was? I wasn't sure if it was 2 or 4.
3.2.
Very nice. Give yourself a pat on the back for that, man. Killed it.
And That was dredging in the rain too.
Yeah, well, you guys just wouldn't give up.
Yeah.
It's like, way to go, though. That's what it's about. You just showed everybody there is gold in Ohio. You know, you made a believer out of the non-believers that think there's not. It's here.
I think everybody did who came to the Cronies outing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I can't wait to see how Rich did.
I know, right? I want to see how Rich did.
Yeah, I'm going nuts, man.
I
Now
know.
you guys are talking about it. You got me all jittery.
And Carrie,
And Carrie and
yeah,
Hogan
she hasn't
and
even
Dennis
finished
and-
her
and
buckets.
everybody.
And
Oh,
she
yeah.
was right next to me, so
Yeah, she had that nice goldfish flake too. So
that's right.
Yeah, that's
yeah, I'm
all
waiting
I've
on
seen.
Darth also.
Yeah.
Rob, I want to see his cleanup. I think he was working on his.
Oh
too.
yeah, is he
Yeah.
still working on it?
I
might be.
think. I had a side chat going with him here. I can't remember what he said.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear how he did too. You know, now Shad, didn't you do a video or something too?
Well, I totaled it up for that whole outing. We recorded like 70 video clips. So
He had to go through
I'm
them
starting to organize it because that way we're gonna put just a short little video on Prospectors Radio YouTube page. You know, so hopefully I'll get that out. It may take about a week because we have to do a voiceover with you, Tim.
Okay, right.
So yeah, just to highlight some of the games, festivities, and gold,
okay.
and so just
That would
kind
be
of
cool. I can't
promote
wait
it
to
a
see
little
it.
more and show everybody what fun they missed.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. It was a great time. You know,
Yes.
it definitely was. Well, let's just go ahead and go right to the subject. Shad, thank you for joining us, but you've leaded us into it, so let's just talk about the Crony outing a little bit, because for everybody that didn't get to make it, and you know, hear what they missed out on. I know, I know it started out with you guys. You guys got there. What day did you?
Well, Dennis got there first.
Dennis got there
with
first.
Dee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
that-
Dennis and Lee.
Dennis
Dennis and Lee and them.
Okay.
And then by the time we showed up, it was later. And you know, on Wednesday we did the show from the Burger King parking lot.
Right. Yep, that's true. We did a Wednesday show, right? Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
Wednesday night
yeah.
show you guys did from the parking lot. Mm-hmm.
So to get everything ready, you know, we wanted to get some dredging in. So Thursday and Friday was just all about dredging and, you know, prospecting. So that's what we pretty much did the first 2 days until you showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you dredged.
Right.
And it was, I mean, if you looked on the creek, it was amazing to see all the people out there
Yeah.
just doing their thing.
It
And I
was
love
great.
that.
Yes, I know. Like you said, when I pulled in Saturday morning, you guys had a little pool going on what time I would arrive.
Oh, yeah.
And you beat it by 30 minutes. Nobody had your
and
time.
Nobody guessed that early.
Nobody won. They actually had.
I said 11.
They
I
actually,
said 11.
Yeah, you guys actually had a chart with times on it.
Oh, yeah, it was really organized.
It was like, really? All right.
And nobody won. I forgot what the prize was.
I don't
Or
know, but
give
nobody
something away.
won the prize
I don't
because
think-
I don't know. But speaking of giveaways, oh my goodness.
the giveaways were.
That was the ultimate giveaway outing right there.
It was.
Yep.
It was a giveaway.
You did not leave until you had something.
Yeah, if you didn't get something out of there, something was
Then you
wrong.
wasn't there. That's the only way, Rich, right? Because
Yeah.
And
everybody.
even
walked
when
away
you
with
tried, like John Miller, who lost his raffle ticket.
something. Yeah.
He still somehow won.
He still won.
It was crazy.
How does that happen? I don't know. Right. But that was right, is because, well, Kathleen did the claim jumper game like we did at Lou's when we was down in Alabama.
Yeah,
last
that was
year.
a great game. Lou started it off down
Yes.
there. We,
Yeah.
we held it on up here.
So we did it again this year, and Kathleen put that on, and her and Shad.
Oh, it was so fun shopping for those gifts, too, at Harbor Freight.
The stuff was cool that they had.
We were in there for, what, 2 hours?
Oh, easily.
We just kept walking. And
You
Harbor
guys-
Freight's not that big.
But you guys did good. The stuff you got was actually usable stuff, except for the rocks.
Except for the cowbell.
Oh, yeah, and the cowbell. No, the cowbell's usable, too. Just put it on the dredge, and you got a cowbell.
Well, everybody needs a little more
That's
cowbell.
right. I need more cowbell. You got to have more cowbell. So everything.
Yeah,
you
we need to
got,
mount
though.
that on the dredge, and then when you get a picker or
You
something,
can
you ring
ding
it.
That's a good idea.
Somebody else ended up with that.
Who ended up with the cowbell?
What was his name?
I don't remember.
Robert?
Yeah, I think Robert.
Davis? Robert
Oh.
Davis?
Yes, Robert Davis.
Oh,
He
okay.
ended up with the cowbell because at the end we all had to, shift.
Yeah, but it seemed like the most popular prize was the old hammer.
Yes.
The old mallet.
So,
What
can
do
we
you
all
call it?
remember?
A dead blow?
Yeah, dead blow
The
hammer.
dead
It's
blow
a dead
hammer.
blow
We
hammer.
all
It's
remember who was
4%.
there, right?
That what,
What's
Rich?
that?
We had the Bennetts there.
Yes,
correct?
the
Mr.
Bennetts.
and
Yeah,
Mrs.
Bennett
Bennett.
showed up.
We had Dennis. We had Lee and Mary
Yeah.
Hertzberger.
Yep.
And
John
of course,
Miller.
John Miller. And of course, we had the Biffles, myself, Dennis,
Patrick
and
Masters and Susie Q show up for
Oh,
that
yeah.
evening.
And they
And-
had their Civil War dig for metal
Yeah.
detecting
Yeah.
in Jackson. And they made the trip just to make it, for Saturday was the main festivities.
Mm-hmm.
And then we
Right.
had Jonathan.
Jonathan.
the guy that sent me or sold me the dredge.
Yeah.
He was there.
A.K.A. Hook.
Yeah, aka Hook. And let's see who else.
Darth.
Yep, Rob
Yeah,
Darth
Darth.
was there.
Let me think. Robert.
Robert Davis.
La, 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 la. Why can't I think? I'm trying to picture the circle.
It was like
Oh, the
19,
Bogans.
I think it was like 19 people altogether,
Yeah.
counting Patrick and
Mhm.
Sue and
And Ava. Yep, don't forget
yeah.
Ava.
And she won a lot of prizes.
hmm
Yeah, she was lucky.
Yeah, she got a sluice box.
Mhm.
That cool little helicopter thingy.
I still don't know what that is, but it looked entertaining, so we picked it up.
That was-
I know Darth was upset though he didn't get to keep that lollipop.
And the
I know.
Cracker
Yeah,
Jack.
and
Yeah.
the Cracker Jack.
And the
yeah.
Cracker Jack.
He was looking forward to that.
And I had that dang dead blow hammer and I lost it, and that's what sucks. I wanted that
I
hammer.
ended up with a multi-tool.
I love that hammer. I have one,
I
and it's
wanted it.
amazing.
That's what I use. I use mine all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's fluorescent, so you can't lose it.
Yeah. Well, I ended up with
Awesome.
the ammo box. Shad gave me the ammo box. We traded sort of
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have one. He said he had a bunch, so he gave me the ammo box. But
Yeah, he doesn't need any
the
more.
game was awesome. I mean, like I said, we played it in Alabama, and Kathleen put it on here for us, and it was great. It probably took what, Rich, 2 hours at least to do it.
yeah.
And
And then we also did the other game, which was the trivia
oh
question.
yeah, that's right.
Oh.
That is true. We did the trivia game.
And we had
Make
three
for it.
contestants.
Mm-hmm.
We had Darth, and we had Mr. Bogan,
Uh-huh.
and we also had Lee Hertzberger.
Yep, little gold spinner dude.
Yep. And the winner was
Show.
Who is the winner?
who was the winner?
Uh-huh.
Bogan. David Bogan.
David Bogan.
took first, and then Lee, and then
Lee,
Darth,
and
and
then-
they all got prizes.
Yep. But there was some... and
See, even when you don't win, you got a prize.
Right,
It was
and-
a great time.
the prizes were just like... We had a table full of prizes, and every...
Oh yeah, I had one of my nice pickers that I gave away
Very
that I
nice
got
picker.
in North Carolina,
Mhm.
and then you had two pickers in one and two pickers in another one
Yeah.
that a guy donated for the Cronies Club giveaway.
Yep, we gave them away. And I
Or,
think
I
Pat
forget
got,
what grams they
Pat
were,
got
but
those, yeah. And that's what I said. We had the sluice box. We had two
We-
sluice boxes,
yeah,
actually.
we had a bunch of hats, bunch of shirts.
Amra hats and shirts. And then
we had donated from the Gold Claw a whole
Oh,
setup
yeah,
there.
we had the
wasn't
Gold
it?
Claw setup. Thanks, Gold Claw guys. The black Gold Claw pan, which Bill actually won that. Remember?
Right, and then we had a banjo pan.
The autographed pink banjo pan. Yes, we did.
Hmm
Who got that?
And a regular banjo.
Didn't Darth get the pink banjo pan?
No,
Who got
Darth
that?
ended up getting a mug and a hat. I believe.
That's right. He won a mug and a hat, Crony Club mug and Crony Club hat. You're right. Who got the banjo pan? I can't remember. Dang. Might have been Robert then. I
don't
can't even remember. But yeah, the prize table was full, and that's what you like. You
Oh
guys-
yeah, we had to actually put everybody's name back in the hat and do it again
Yeah.
because
yeah.
we had a.
We had more prizes than we had people.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And then to top it off, I mean, Lee and Mary Hertzberger, they cooked a great dinner for everybody
Sloppy
Saturday
Joes.
night. They had Sloppy Joes.
Now you missed the Bogan's barbecue.
Yes, I missed that. That was, you guys did that. But
it was amazing.
Yeah, that was good. They had pulled pork, and then he had brisket on the side.
Yeah, the
and then he had this awesome juice that you poured over top of it.
That would be the Anjou
God,
juice,
it makes
right?
mouth water.
God, see, I missed that. Damn, man. How did I miss it? I don't even know how I missed it.
It was Friday.
A couple of people saying they're having sound problems tonight, but I've only seen 2 people so far.
That's all I've seen, too. I've been watching. I'm checking everything
John Hunt
here.
and Arnold, but
everything looks good here. Try refreshing,
Robert
guys.
Davis said he got a CC hat.
Oh, that's right. He did. Yes, I remember Robert did get a Chronic Club hat. Yep. Yeah, just refresh the show or something. It should be okay because it's not here on this end. Everything looks good. The levels are great. So, and if it's only
a bunch of other people said it was good on their end. So
yeah, if it's only 2, it's definitely not here. So it was
Might
Lee.
have to refresh it, guys.
Lee won the banjo pan.
Oh, that was.
Mm-hmm. But they cooked a wonderful dinner that night for everybody, and it was like,
oh yeah, she had a nice spread out.
Oh
like,
my God, did
Mary
she?
Put a banquet table out.
Yeah, they took care of
with
us.
the fancy table skirt.
That is an awesome sponsor. They took awesome care of us and made sure everybody had a full belly, and
Oh yeah.
We really,
Yeah, I actually brought food back again. I don't know why that keeps happening.
We tried to plan, but it just, you know how that is. We always have more.
Yeah, and that's a good thing,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but, we just still, big thank you to Lee and Mary and the Little Gold Spinner for sponsoring the event. It was a great time.
I was worried they were not going to be able to get out of there being on the conditions
too.
of the...
Oh my gosh, he made it look so easy.
Really?
Oh my gosh. I was just like, wow, he makes that look
when I
so
left,
easy.
When I left, I was like, am I going to get out of here? Because I got street tires, of course. You guys all got trucks. And I'm thinking, I said, is Lee going to get that monster bus and trailer out?
He backed it up, the spot that he was in. He backed it up perfectly straight and turned it around, and obviously he's really good at what he does for a living.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I could never do that.
And then it came right out of there, huh?
Oh,
no
yeah.
problems. I'll be darned. I was worried. Yeah. I didn't know if he would.
I was a little nervous too, and no, he did just fine.
He didn't seem to be.
So did he could do it. We did it just fine as well.
He didn't seem concerned about all the rain that he was getting. So I was thinking, well, maybe he knows something we don't know. He can just pull it right out of there. So,
well, he's got a lot more tires too.
Yeah, and that thing's heavy, so it probably just grabs in and goes. So, way to go, Lee. But yeah, big thank you to Little Gold Spinner for sponsoring this event. But it was a great time, and like Kathleen said, when you look down the creek, all you seen was people prospecting. They were in the water, dredges everywhere, and just having a good time. And that's what it was about. I got there and just unloaded my car and got right into the water.
And it was great to see the people. You see them on Facebook and in the chat room, but to actually meet them in person it's great.
Yes, a big thank you to everybody that showed up and came and hung out with us. The cronies were united. It was a great time.
The weather held out great until Sunday.
Yeah. But
was it Sunday or Monday? It was Sunday, right?
It was Sunday, yeah.
Oh, and that's when the rain it was a steady, constant,
crappy
flat rain.
Yeah.
And
it was
just enough to annoy you.
All day.
Oh, it was miserable.
It was. But sitting around the...
Carrie and Kathleen were like dredge masters. They showed all the guys up. They wasn't getting out of the water for nothing.
No, they stayed in. All the guys were done and up by the fire, and those two are still in there just going at it. They were still in there when I left. They had to pull up to the side of the river and tell them bye.
We actually wanted to go on one more run, but the current started to pick up, and we're like, let's just get out.
Well, the next morning afterwards, it actually started to get a little rapids in where I was dredging, so the water did come up.
We were driving home, and they hadn't released the dam yet. So in the rivers were getting pretty high. So we got out just in time because once they released that dam, whew.
Yeah, see?
Get out of there.
If they would open that dam, it would have been bad. Real quick.
I want to give a quick shout out to Pirate Dredger Scotland.
Yeah.
He's from Glasgow, Scotland, United Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
And he's listening to the show, so I wanted to give him a shout out.
And Rich, he's actually sporting a Crony Club hat down there in Scotland, too. See?
Awesome.
That is pretty cool. He's representing the cronies all the way down there in Scotland. Very cool. So
awesome.
That is sweet. Yeah. Wish he could have made it to the Crony Club.
Yeah.
But we do have to officially announce who got the biggest picker.
Yeah.
We ended up weighing it at the very end. This is after everybody left. It was just us and the Bogans and Carrie. So we even got it on video. So it'll be on our Cronies Club outing video that Shad's posting to YouTube to your YouTube page. Mm-hmm. But anyway, even though Carrie's was an interesting shape, it was actually shaped as a goldfish. Her picker, it was flatter, but Bogan's was like the golden egg. Just an oval, and it was a solid piece. So when you weighed it, he actually had the biggest picker.
Oh. But
you know what?
Looked cooler. Yeah.
Carrie's looked really cool.
Genuine
and
goldfish.
It was the last run, too, because everybody was packing it up. You know, like you said, all the guys were just...
Yeah, we were by the fire.
Up there. So we're like, oh, we're going to run again. Just one more time, because I had doused the area, and we actually changed our positions on the last day, which is something I never do. Right. Because I have a little dredge, and it's just a lot for overburden. But when I walked with the dowsing rods, I know some of you don't believe in them, but I do. They snapped, and I even turned my body, and they would still hold their position. And Carrie saw it, and I'm like, "Oh, come on, Carrie, we have to go here." So, sure enough, that it paid off, and I think I'll be visiting that gravel bar again.
Oh, I bet you will. Because look at that picture. I'd be visiting it again, too.
Oh, my gosh.
Man.
And it's a good thing because the last run is when she found the picker.
Right, see? And you know where that gravel bar is. So I'm figuring you'll get back to that gravel bar. I see it in your future. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is in the future as close as next weekend.
Very cool. Yeah, get back on it. And, I mean, the gold's right there where you left it. So pick up where you left off and get it all, Kathleen. You have to.
And Carrie, she's got a bigger dredge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See,
hers is an inch bigger than mine.
Well, she breaks through that overburden for you.
Yeah, she does.
And then you get you down to the right material.
I get all the crevices and cracks and stuff, but, it's teamwork.
Yeah, it is teamwork.
We're going to get that gravel.
Yeah, and also, I know we had some nice campfire talks while we were there, sitting around. Got a lot of ideas from members and stuff on things they'd like us to do and stuff, and so we're going to try.
We love the feedback.
Yeah, so we're going to try to put some of them into effect and see what happens. We'll take it from there, but we definitely love that for sure. A lot of good feedback and. We appreciate it. And just big thank you to everybody that came, for sure. Had a great time. Great time. It just went by too fast.
Yes, it did.
It really did. And next year, we can consider, we're going to do somewhere else next year.
Yeah, a different location so that, we can include all. We want to meet all the cronies out there, and they're just so widespread.
Right.
That we hope we get to get a chance to dredge with you or prospect with you and camp. Yeah. Camping's fun.
Heck yeah. And if we go a little further, maybe like we said, south, and it might be closer for some other people, and they can come that couldn't make it all the way here. So we'll do our best, and we'll make it happen. It'll be great, we promise, and we will let everybody know when we know, right, Kathleen?
Yep.
We definitely will. So let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with our good friend Rich and Cooley's Corner. We'll be right back, everybody.
Do you like to mine for gold? Enjoy prospecting a nice crack in the bedrock? Enjoy getting outdoors to camp, fish, hunt, and hike on your public lands? You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. A sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government is going? Are you tired of seeing no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are, and we are fighting back. We are AMRA, America Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men, and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to educate, unite, and help the small miners and public land users on their rights. Rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their Miners Legal Fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these people's wages. It is time they listen to us. We need to unite. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us. Get in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. Freedom. Just visit AmericanMiningRights.com. AmericanMiningRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com.
Just stopped by on my way home to show you all my gold.
You've been digging into some Jimbo's gold pay dirt.
Yeah, Jimbo's gold made me a hero.
Huh?
Got an amazing idea and supplies on sale from Jimbo's website. With bad weather, bored kids, and stressed wife, I threw a panning party for the kids and their friends. All the moms got a break, kids had a blast. Hero.
Happy kids, happy wife, great gold. That's why Jimbo's Gold is always my first choice.
Did you teach panning or share your prospecting knowledge? Then you are our hero. Tell us your story for a chance to receive a hero's reward at www.jimbosgold.com/hero.
Welcome to Cooley's Corner. Join Rich Cooley as he talks about equipment, new products, and so much more for all us prospectors and treasure hunters. Here's Rich.
Good evening, everyone. This is Cooley's Corner. All right, this week we're going to talk a little bit about jam-ups, clogs, whatever have you. We all know that they are miserable and they can be a real pain, and especially if you constantly get them. But what I want to do tonight is kind of a little special. What I want to do is I want to talk with the crew. You know, I want everybody's feedback into how they do it, and because everybody looks at different situations, it may have different ideas to do it or first things first. Right. So first I want to talk a little bit about dredge combo high bankers. We all know they're a little bit different setup. They actually have a pressure hose that goes to the nozzle, which of course has your pressure there, which causes vacuum. So basically you set everything up. You've ran it a couple weeks ago and it's fine. So now all of a sudden you fire it up and boom, you have very little suction at all. Any ideas where to check first? What would be the first scenario?
Orifice.
Orifice, yep. And that's exactly what happened this past weekend. Not naming any names, but basically there was a process of elimination where you're dealing with stuff like this. If we would have known that as soon as he fired up automatically that he had a clog, we would have looked at that the first thing. So basically, I felt, because I really wasn't sure on his pump, because, and this is very strange, is when you put your hands around your foot valve, usually you could feel a very good amount of suction.
Right.
But his pump, for example, which I don't remember what it was. I know it was a Proline, but it had very little suction. And we were like, this is unreal, because usually it was sucking all the leaves in like everybody else's was, but his wasn't. His really didn't have very much suction, and we couldn't figure out why.
Right.
So we checked the whole dredge hose all the way up, kept holding our hand over the end of the nozzle. And when you do that, it causes a pressure and it causes a backfeed. And if there's a clog, it'll help get that clog out, because when you let it go, it sends a lot of water up to the high banker, and it'll actually spit and sputter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before you do that, the first thing you need to do is put a black tub or any kind of tub in front of your high banker, because what that's going to do, the surging and the no water in the water, is going to wash all your material out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I recommend to do is put a black pan under it when you're having a problem with a clog, because you can always take the black pan, and dump it right back in once you're unclogged.
Right.
Because that surge of water, surging and unsurging, majority of the boxes will wash material out of it. So that's the first thing you need to do when you do that. But we did basically a process of elimination. We checked the pump. So what we did was we took the pressure hose off the end of the nozzle, fired the pump up, and man, it shot water very good. So we knew it wasn't the pump right away.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, we know we already checked the dredge hose, and it was fine. So the only other thing it could be was the orifice. Of course, when you look down the end of the nozzle, you cannot see the orifice, because the orifice is pointed back towards your material is going. So what I did in the past, I always carried a little crevice tool that had like an elbow on it, and you could stick it in and pry around up in the orifice to try to pop the rocks out.
Mm-hmm.
So what we eventually ended up doing is I went back to the truck and got a coat hanger, and they got the nozzle taken off by the time I got back, and you could look right down in the orifice and you could see the rock perfectly jammed right in there.
Ah.
So we tried to get a hanger in there, and of course that didn't work. So Dennis went over and got a straight stick, brought it over, and we thought, this ain't going to work. Put the stick down there and popped it, and the rock went right through.
Now, what do you mean by
Fell
the
right out.
orifice?
Okay, on your dredge nozzles, there is a hole which your pressure line comes in, your water comes in, and there is what's called an orifice. It's basically a hole that goes into your dredge tube, that goes into your nozzle. You know what I mean? That's how you get your water.
Okay.
They call that an orifice.
Oh.
Now, some of the orifices are made that has a washer welded in there. Why? I do not know, but that's how some of them are made. They actually have almost like a big washer welded in there. But there's all different styles. This one just actually had it was a green one, so I'm sure it was a Martin. And it was clogged with that big rock. Now, the reason why this happened is because when you get your all your hoses out and you're dragging them across the ground, hooking your lines up and everything, what happened was the rock fell down into the hose, and he didn't know it until he hooked it up, fired it up, and all of a sudden that rock came up and jammed right into the orifice right away, which caused no suction.
Mm-hmm.
Now, also, when we took the nozzle out of the water, of course, you had water shooting out of the end, and that's usually what happens when you have a jam.
Okay.
Now, sometimes if you have a jam in the dredge hose itself, which is going up to the high banker or your dredge, that will also happen. You will have water shooting out of the end, and that's normally the first thing I would do is I would check the dredge hose, and that's why we always like to have the clear hoses, because you can walk back and you can look around the circles and you can see if there's a big clump there. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, that's why we like that orange rubber mallet there to whack on it. And now, when you whack on it, I see a lot of people using rocks or whatever, and necessarily it's not a good thing to use the rocks. If you do, use a flat rock, because you can put divots and cuts in your hoses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always best to use a rubber mallet to be able to do that. And when you find the section, say it's a 4-inch section of rocks all piled up, the best thing to do is start at the closer to your box or your dredge. Start there first whacking, because what you'll do is you'll loosen some of them rocks up, and if you loosen enough of them up, it'll free the line faster. If you start at the front beating it, all you're doing is packing them tighter. So it's best to go with the back section of your water to loosen the rocks up, because you got your water pressure that is coming back from the front to the back, which is putting pressure on the front of those rocks. Mm-hmm. If you're beating that front, you're just packing it tighter. So it's best to hit the back side to loosen the rocks up, and then that pressure will push it clear.
It makes sense.
If that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Okay, so basically you got that part. Now, also sometimes when you're looking at dredge high banker and you look at your box and you're seeing your water flow just isn't right, it seems to be spitting and sputtered here and there. I basically lay my nozzle down in the water to where it's not going to get clogged up again. I usually set it on a rock, and then I'll walk my dredge hose back and check to make sure there's no clogs. What will happen is there'll be a rock that gets caught on your dredge adapter, which goes into your combination box. And basically that rock will get caught right at the end and won't be able to come out. And it'll cause a little, you'll still have suction, but it'll cause a little delay, you know. Mm-hmm. What it does is it's not full suction. It'll be like half suction, because that material's coming up and starting to get stopped up before it gets dumped into the box. So that's basically, you check that also. And then, of course, once you're running good, go back up, take your pan, and then dump all that material back in slowly and feed it back in, and that way you don't have to worry about losing anything.
Okay. Got it.
And then Razor says one of the places he gets clogged up the most is because of seawater and the seaweed is covering up the intake of the pump. And then we'll get to that.
Like how we have leaves.
Yeah. let's just go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah.
So I'm dredging this weekend, or during the Crony Club outing, and after pulling the rest of my hair out, trying to make sure everything was right, I get down and I have great suction. It almost sucked my hand right up, and then all of a sudden, not much at all. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Now I'm checking the dredge hose, not finding anything, going up, lifting the mat up, probing it, making sure there's nothing clogged in it, and then it hit me, the foot valve. So I go back to the foot valve, and it's just covered with leaves. And as soon as you get the leaves off, you look up, and the water's flowing nice again. So that would, if you're in an area that has a lot of leaves, especially nowadays, it gets clogged up with leaves, just like Razor said about the seaweed, And it was like every 10 minutes, you almost had to stop and do that. Now,
the bucket idea.
Without that being said, I come up with an idea to use my 1/4-inch classifier bucket, which I'm going to hopefully get some plans up for everybody if they want them. They actually used to sell them on the site here, but I think they went out of business, but I made my own. And basically what I did was laid it down, had 1/4-inch screen in it, and I ended up getting a 5-gallon bucket and cutting a hole in it and put my hose through that, and I put it on, and it ran for about 10 minutes. Then all of a sudden, I heard a horrendous crunching noise, like, and I'm like, what is that? And I get up and walk over, and my 5-gallon bucket is crushed. The suction of it with that lid on crushed that bucket, and it was still sucking water, no problem. But my bucket was like totally crushed. And I couldn't get the lid off with it running. So I had to idle down, and I got the lid off, and I put the classifier bucket out of the water and bent it back to where it was finally. And I put it in, and I just barely put the lid on a little bit, just enough to keep some of the leaves out. And it worked the rest of the time very good. I didn't have too much of a problem with that. That being said, when you're around leaves and stuff like that, Mr. Bogan had a trash can that he got at his store, and it was almost like a wire mesh. I don't remember what size the holes were. I don't know if they're 1/4 inch or what it is. I didn't really get a good look at it. But you can buy one of the metal trash cans and then pile the rocks up in front of it. That way the leaves don't get sucked into it, and then it'd be easier to clean out, just to get the leaves off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that is also a great idea to use, because in the area that we were at the time of year, the leaves were everywhere in the water.
They were falling.
And watch out for the snakes if you have a bucket.
Mm-hmm. And also you had falling, what were they, buckeyes?
No, they were walnuts.
Walnuts.
Yep.
And those hurt.
Yeah, they were like falling from all over the trees at this time of year.
Yeah, like baseballs falling, what they're like, and knock your brains
out
if one hit you. Mm-hmm.
It was so weird because Shad made a smart comment to me, and I said, "I'm going to throw this rock at your head," and then right when I said that, a walnut fell down.
I have powers.
Yeah.
I control nature. But I did come up with another solution with the leaves, because I would all of a sudden lose suction. I'd go clear it, all the leaves off my foot valve, and I'd turn back around, and before I got back in my hole, I'd get a whole bunch more, because the whole creek bed was just covered with leaves in the area I was.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up, just really quick, dredging just a small hole for my foot valve.
Oh, okay.
And that actually helps, where it was down deep enough to where it wasn't pulling in the leaves from the surface back down in the hole.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
Good idea. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Now, that trash can, Rich, is that like a bathroom trash can? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, they were just like the ones with like probably 8 inch holes in, 1/4 inch holes in.
We had one of those in our camper.
Yeah.
Now my foot valve had actually really small holes in it. It was a 2.5 inch foot valve, but it actually had real small holes, like 16th inch holes. I call them spaghetti holes because they were real small.
Right.
But Jonathan actually had a foot valve there for me to use when he was there, which actually had 1/4 inch holes in it, which is the ticket, because the spaghetti holes, when it gets clogged up with leaves, you cannot pull them off unless you idle down or turn off.
Uh-huh.
They are sucked so tight that they will not come off. Now, the one with the 1/4 inch holes, you can just wrap your hands around it and keep going around it, and you can eventually get it off, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones with the spaghetti holes in it, it wasn't working.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
So it's just an idea there of stuff to check, when you're having clog ups.
Right.
Now, on the dredges and stuff like that, of course, this is basically, I ran dredges down in Alabama, but this is my first one myself. So I've got kind of a wake-up call with my dredge. I had an incident that happened. It seems like everything on my dredge was like kind of loose, because every time I touched something, it would fall off or something. It was... So I'm going to be going all over that this winter and making sure. But a situation that happened to me, and I'm not proud of it, but it happens, and it all makes mistakes. But I am sitting in there in a hole dredging. I just got up from getting the leaves off, and I'm looking at the front of the sluice, and all looks good. I'm judging for probably, maybe 15, 20 minutes, and I look over at Bogan, and he's hollering, "Shut it off, shut it off." And I'm like, what? What's wrong now? So I walk up to my dredge and look. We're hearing my jet tube pulled out of my crash box, and I'm dumping all the material right back into the creek, right under my sluice. For probably 15, 20 minutes, I'm running, and no gold, no bucks. I just throw it right back in the creek. So, it happens with the best of us, and I just sucked it up, buttercup, and
That's right.
put it back on it. And a lot of the things that I didn't know, I noticed there was a loop that was on the back of my jet tube, and it was an S hook, actually, and there was a loop on the bottom of my mount for my motor. And of course, you would think, yes, that loop hooks into there. But the way my dredge was set up when I got there, there was no way it was lining up.
Mm-hmm.
So when Jonathan got there, of course, I had him come down and check over everything. And of course, that S-hook was supposed to be in that loop like I thought it was.
Yeah.
And we got it hooked up and got it situated, and everything was good to go. So, I mean, it just, and then he explained to me a little bit about, when to move the box forward or move the box back. And I was actually in a bad situation because my dredge was sitting on a pile of rocks, basically, and I had to shove rocks underneath the back of the dredge to get it to tilt forward a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But later on the last day, I put her in the hole with me, and then it was floating on its own. Then I couldn't keep it still. I kept wanting to move all over the place.
Yeah, well, the water level was a lot higher.
Yeah, the water was so high. I was like, I put the dredge in the water, and I moved my hose.
I had to prop my dredge up on rocks, and mine's a lot smaller.
But, now that I think about it to why it happened, is because I thought I had a little clog in the hose. So I kind of gave the dredge hose a little whip.
Mm-hmm.
When I did the little whip,
right,
that probably pulled it right out of the crash box.
Probably did.
So it just goes to show that, before you go out, you need to make sure that everything is tight, especially your hoses and everything going in. And then I also noticed leaks on my hoses, which later on I found out when I tore them apart, there was no gaskets in them.
Okay.
Oh, they were drawn up and there was no gaskets, but that will be no longer because I ain't getting rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to quick connect, so I will not have that problem anymore.
Yeah. Okay. The old quick
So-
connects. Very nice.
It's going to be like Frankenstein's laboratory this winter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
there's gonna
dredge,
be a lot-
isn't it?
Gonna be a lot of changes. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
I can't wait
also-
to see it.
Yeah, me too. I want to cover something I never experienced this before, and maybe somebody that has. But I was standing in the dredge, and I didn't have suction, and I walk up to the dredge, and the dredge, the water coming out into the crash box was making a weird, god-awful noise like, and spitting water out all over the place.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was, and when I took the plug out to be able to, stick your rod in there, when I'd stick the rod in, water was shooting out of that hole massively, and I couldn't get it unplugged, and I didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I grabbed the hole of the flap and I pulled it up, and I shoved my hand in the pipe, in the hose on the inside. And I shoved my hand and I blocked the water off, tried to block the water off. And what that did is that actually calmed the water flow down, and then it started running smoothly. And then I put my dredge rod in, and I got down in there, and what it was the rocks were clogged up right at the end of the jet tube and your dredge hose.
Okay.
When I checked my dredge hose, I could not see them.
Right.
But when I stuck the rod down in the first time, it must have went right through the only hole that was there.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing I want to bring up right now is when you stick that rod down in your hole in a crash box or in your jet tube, what you need to do is twist it around a little bit. Shove it down in, pull it out, twist it around, and rake it around so that rod goes around the end of your jet tube on the inside.
Right.
And then it broke loose. And then
That's
everything.
one of my favorite tools is that rebar
Yeah.
hole that Shad did for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love that thing.
See, I must just be lucky. I don't ever get clogs.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I guess you kind of have to go out more than 2 times a year. To...
Shoddy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but don't you have the
Yeah, I have a nozzle guard.
the bar, the
yes,
guard?
I do.
You have a nozzle guard on,
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah. But I did
See,
actually.
I don't, so I get bigger rocks.
Well, I did have a
Mr.
little
Bogan,
clog.
he didn't have much clogs at all because he actually had a nozzle guard on his. It wasn't
Right.
a nozzle guard, but he ended up welding a U basically over top of his to restrict sucking up 3 and 4 inch rocks. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that helped him really good. That he didn't even have to get up for that at all. You know.
Right. See, like mine did try to clog once, but usually when I start losing pressure, I'll put my hand over the end and then like release it, and it'll cause a burst of pressure, and it'll sometimes free up the smaller
And
clog.
also when you have a little restriction like that, and you feel you do,
Mm-hmm.
what I did was I actually just brought my nozzle up out of the water just a little bit
Right.
to get it to suck a little bit of air, and then shoved it back down underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And what that did,
do that.
You
Just
can't
a
take
little.
it out completely and put it down, but if you cause just like a little air bubble gap,
Yeah.
once that air bubble gets to the clog, it then like all of a sudden a lot of suction force comes through it, and sometimes
I don't know.
it'll put pressure on it. Actually, I did take mine out of water.
Maybe
I
you
took
guys
mine
with the
out of water and
dredges
put
can
it back
do that,
down
but I-
in. But what it did is it actually almost did a whip. You know, you could see my dredge hose start to float and then sink, and then that pressure would just unclog it.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's it.
Yeah.
Sometimes works. It's good tricks to try before you break out the hammers and the rods, just because this way you don't even have to
Right.
get out of the hole. Sometimes you could just do that. It'll free it up, and that seems to work for me because I don't get the massive clogs because of the nozzle guard, of course. But still would have liked to have that hammer just in case.
well, you can
They're
pick
nice.
one up at any hardware store for under $5.
Well, I'm gonna have to get one.
Harbor Freight.
And I'll have it for just in case somebody else there needs one. I'll have one handy. Very cool. Yep. Thank you. Keep going, Rich. Sorry, brother.
No, that's all right. We're pretty much coming to the end of it. I was trying to think of something else there. I actually thought of something, but now it just went right out the door. So
Don't you love it?
Well, I can't remember if you mentioned it, but if you do get a clog in your hose, don't hit where the clog is.
Yeah,
hit,
he mentioned it.
yeah,
But what about the idling down? Shad told me once, if you get one, you can't get it out, just idle down a little bit.
exactly. Yep. If you know that you have an actual real big clog in, like one time down in Alabama, I pretty much had the hose packed full. I mean, I'm lifting up the hose, and there's material like falling all the way back out of the hose, and I'm like, oh man, this ain't good. So what I did was I went up and idled down, and then I started at the back of the dredge, just lifting the hose up, and then just walking it back, and all the material just dumped right back out to the nozzle. And then I went right back up, fired the idle back up to where it goes, and I was back to dredging. And sometimes that's all it is,
Yeah.
And that brings me to my next question. When you do that, I was always under the impression that whenever you disrupt, your dredging and the water flow, that you should do a clean out. Is that just a myth?
Now, very good question. Now, the reason what I should have stated is when you go to fire back out, you don't go from idling to full throttle.
Right.
You idle it up slowly. Now, you can, by all means, if you want to put a pan underneath it, when you idle it back up and then re-put your material back in, then so be it. But if
That's
you
hard
don't,
to do with the dredge,
if you don't cause a whole big interruption of slow to fast, if you just idle it up a little bit, let it go for a little bit, idle it up a little bit until you get it to where you need it to be, most of the time you will not wash a lot of material out.
Right.
Okay.
Now, when you're coming to the regular dredge high banker combination, you will push material out because that water is going to be surging. And all of a sudden you have a blast from nothing to a lot, you will wash material out. That's why I suggest using a black pan for a dredge high banker combination.
Yeah.
So
Good question. Definitely. Yeah.
That is, well, I've always wondered because I'm the queen of cleanouts. Whenever something goes wrong, I'm like, I gotta clean out. I don't want to blow my gold out.
And if you did, I wonder actually like how much the loss would be, if you fired it right back up full throttle, because everything's, you're running miners moss, so I would think everything's pretty much down to
well, and it's still going to wash material out. Are
Sure.
you going to lose gold? Possibly.
Yeah, but
No,
how much?
possibly. It depends on the situation of how you're set up. That is correct.
Definitely. But yeah, I'm with Rich. I start out at a low idle and just gradually bring it back up.
And that's what I did with mine. And I actually put a pan on the end of mine to see if I did get washout, and I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. So, I mean,
Okay.
that's not saying that everybody won't. That's just saying I didn't on my particular dredge because I wanted to get to learn my dredge. I never did it before with this one. So I did stuff in different situations just so I know how my dredge is.
Right.
Now, when I first started doing cleanouts on my dredge, what I would do is I actually did my back mat and I put it in the pan and I panned it out. And I seen what gold I had there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually did my other section of miner's moss, cleaned it out, seeing what I had. And then I did my big section of miner's moss, cleaned it out, see what I had. And then at the end of my sluice, I have a green carpet. And at the end of that sluice, I didn't want to see any gold at all.
Okay.
Because that's how I want. I want that as a leftover spot. That way, if something does get kicked up by your surgeons, then you could get a couple specks there. But I was still getting, no, I don't want to say a good bit of gold, but I was still getting some gold there that I feel that I shouldn't have. And that's why I'm going to do what I want to do to alleviate that problem. But that let me know how my dredge was doing by doing those cleanups.
Mm-hmm.
I would do a matting at a time. And I also found out that underneath of those mattings, I had way too much material, which means the material is getting underneath the mattings, which means I could be losing gold. And I didn't like that.
Right.
And the reason that is because the miner's moss was cut too short and it had a 1/4-inch gap on each side. And that's just something, that I'll work with and I'll get it going good. And
Right.
everybody has their own setups and like the way they do it, but I don't like there was a lot of material getting underneath the mattings,
Right. Well, like you said, that gap next to it could have been that problem, so you'll solve that. And
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
I mean, but it's awesome. I love it, and I can't wait to kick some hiney next year because I'm going to be rocking and rolling.
Oh, I know it.
I'll be giving the Biffles a run for their money.
4-inch dredge. Yeah.
Probably.
'Cause I ain't going to get out much, I don't get out as much as you guys, so I got to make good when I can,
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Right, but you'll be moving a lot of material, so that's what's cool.
Yeah.
A lot more than you was moving before. But I want to...
Oh, yeah. I guarantee just from checking a couple of spot checks, I nailed it. I mean, I did get more gold than I've ever had before on my cleanouts. I guarantee you.
Oh,
I
nice.
can't wait for your cleanup.
Yeah, I want to see that too. It's
I
good.
had some nice pickers,
See?
Oh.
Nice.
Now, while we're on this subject, if we have time, do we have time for one more little
Of
thing?
course we do. Keep it rolling.
All right. What do you guys call a picker, and what do you guys call a nugget?
Ah.
I've had that question asked me many times, wanted me to do a segment on it, but it's not a long segment. So myself, I would call a picker, of course, is something you can pick up with your fingers.
Yeah, agreed.
Very easily. Now, I do not have fingernails, so it's hard for me to actually pick something up,
Mm-hmm.
But if I can pick it up and it's like, I basically go by a pea size, the size of a pea.
Okay.
I would call that a picker and below. Anything that's bigger than a pea, I would call a nugget.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Kathleen?
Well, it also depends on where you're from.
Right.
Yeah.
So here on the out east in the Midwest, a lot of the pickers I would say would be nuggets to me if I can pick them up and they make a sound. I know they call them plinkers, but I don't even want to think about plinkers. They're nuggets.
Okay, that's a nugget. If you drop it and it makes a sound.
For the east, yeah.
Right.
But, if you're out west where you're used to finding big round nuggets, that to you would be a picker.
Right. Now, see, to me, I say if it's like a match head, that's a picker. And if it's bigger than a match head, then it's a nugget. That's my thinking.
Mhm.
I guess everybody has their own, their own thing on it, right? I mean, gosh.
Well, if by the
So what's an
match head,
example?
then I found a whole crap load of pickers.
Right.
Because I got
right. If you figure the size of a match head, that's, to me, is a picker. You can still pick it up with your 2 fingers. So that's a picker. I think anything bigger than that, like even a pea size, like you said, Rich, that would be a nugget to me. And
Oh yeah, that's definitely a nugget.
That's definitely a nugget. I mean, yeah, that's a nugget. That's a super nugget. I mean, I'm trying to picture to take one for an example. Wow, because you're not weighing them. It's just
it depends on where you're from.
I think so.
I mean, like that one I found down in North Carolina. I called that a picker, and that was almost the size of a pea.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Now, okay.
But like everybody says, depends on where you're from.
See, Ed says anything you could pick up is a nugget. See, I see. Everybody says it different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pea around here is a Midwest nugget. Yeah. See, I agree. If it has weight,
pea
it's
would
a nugget.
be nugget anywhere. Andy says. Yeah.
And Jesse says if it has weight, it's a nugget. So everybody's thinking varies on that one.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Everybody has their own perception of what is a picker and what's a nugget.
Right, a picker to one guy might be a nugget to somebody else.
Right.
But
Jaron says that he agrees with Randy, and anything 0.5 and under is a picker, and anything plus of a 0.5 is a nugget.
Right, but when you're out there in the field, you're not weighing it, so it's like, I mean, it might look small, but it might be heavy. So I don't know. Right. It's just weird. I think it's just
So would Bogan's been a nugget then?
I'm thinking his was more of a nugget then because his was 0.9.
Yeah, 0.9.
So that would be a nugget.
His 0.9 grams.
Yep.
And Carrie's was 0.4.
Yep. Yeah. See, so Seb B. Carrie's would be a picker, and
David's
would be a nugget.
All right, Bogan, you found the Ohio nugget.
Yeah, right. See, a picker, you need something to pick it up with, but you can pick it up with your fingers, so that's why I say that's a picker. I don't know.
Yes, we are taking calls tonight, Craig.
Oh, yeah, if somebody wants to call.
Call in. We'd love to talk to you.
Yep, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll open the phone lines up, and we will be right back on that note.
In 1858, gold was discovered in the rivers of New Caledonia. This discovery would spark a massive gold rush. Today, the search for gold is much easier, yet still challenging with Dirt Hog Pay Dirt. At Dirt Hog, we pride ourselves on our gold and guaranteed gold amounts. Just visit dirthogpaydirt.com today and buy yourself a bag of the best pay dirt concentrates on the market. Order with confidence in Canada and North America. dirthogpaydirt.com. The best gold concentrates on the market, period. Also, be sure to check out our Honest Bonus program.
Hey everyone, I want to take a minute and talk about a centrifuge that's just been introduced for the prospectors. It's called the Little Gold Spinner. They have 3 models. They have the Creekside, which is on wheels, the electric model, which can be used at home or with a generator, and the Prospector model, which can be set in a creek in up to 14 inches of water. They also have a wash box like a high banker attachment for the Creekside and Prospector models. It is compact and very portable. The Little Gold Spinner is made to run raw material, but is efficient enough to use as a finisher for your concentrates. It's been tested to recover 99+%. I have seen the Little Gold Spinner in the field, and I have seen it work. It does recover gold right down to the fine powder. The Little Gold Spinner is very simple to set up and run. About 1 minute of setup time with no leveling. Just set it and start running dirt. Clean out is very easy and quick also. Pull the plug out of the Little Gold Spinner and rinse your concentrates into your gold pan below. You have about 1 cup of concentrates to pan out, about 1 minute of clean out time. So check out their website, theaul.com, or you can give them a call at 574-326-5765. The Little Gold Spinner is completely made in the USA. And remember, if you're going to dig it, get it all, theaul.com.
You're listening to Prospectors Radio on the Gold Prospectors Space Network. Phone lines are open. Have a question? Give us a call. 419-520-7574.
All right, everybody, we're back, and we were just talking clogs and cleanouts on Cooley's Corner. Did you have anything else, Rich? Or
No, that was it.
All right, very
clogs
good.
And cleanouts.
Awesome
I thought it was a pretty good subject.
Clogs and cleanouts. It was a great subject. I just want to let everybody know that Ron will be back in a couple weeks. He's getting settled there in Alabama and still hasn't gotten his internet hooked up. His squirrels haven't arrived for the squirrel cage to power it. So as soon as As soon as they get there, he'll be back up and running. He'll be here with us. Also, be sure to check out Ed and Jesse's show, Tuesday Night Hangouts with Ed and Jess and Dano on their YouTube channel.
Yeah, who's going to be on this Tuesday?
This Tuesday, I'm not sure who's going to be on this Tuesday. Crap, is it the blah 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 the Spin It Off guy? I think that's who it is.
Who is it?
The
spin-off
David.
guy. Yeah, okay.
David. What's his last name? I can't think of his last name. You know who I'm talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's who the guest is this week. Here's a caller for you guys. All right. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Jonathan Perrette, alias a.k.a. Hook.
Hey.
There he is.
How are you, Hook?
Hey, Jonathan.
There's the man.
I'm doing all right. How are all you doing?
Doing good. Did you do a clean out?
Great.
Yeah, I did a clean out.
And?
I haven't done no pictures or nothing of it yet, but it was pretty nice. I had some small flakes, I call them. They weren't quite pickers, but they were nice flakes.
Okay. Because I know those couple pans you brought over and was showing us looked pretty decent. It was like, okay, you might have some nice in that box.
Yeah, well, a couple of them was from Indiana. I brought some stuff over from my claim, but I had one pan that I kept just for the Ohio outing over there, so the Kearney outing. So, but it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice gold.
Good. Yeah.
I had a good time.
Good. That's
Good. I bet there are pretty much a lot of peppery stuff I've seen everybody have.
Yeah, it was like pepper, but wasn't that little dusty, flowery stuff either. So
no, it wasn't like PA fly poop or anything, you know. I didn't really see that much of the real fine stuff.
No, I did.
What was that?
I said I didn't really see much of the fly poop, the real small stuff. Everybody seemed to have a lot of peppery stuff.
Right.
But I love my dredge, Jonathan. It's awesome, buddy. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. But I heard you say a few things. That you got to remember that was a completely factory built. That's older, and that matting actually come to me like that when I bought that dredge brand new.
Wow.
Really? Well, I also heard, and maybe you can clarify this, Jonathan. Somebody told me that the green mattings that they always hold gold. Is that true? I mean, I had a lot of people tell me, I think John Miller told me, that he used to dry his out, and then he would beat them, and he would still get gold out of them all the time.
Oh, yeah, you will. If you take that, and especially where it's been ran, some of the creeks around here in Indiana, I never took time to do that with it, but there's probably still a lot of gold in there from just here, to be honest.
I heard that. I heard that if you dry them out real good, and then you beat them like in a 5-gallon bucket, take something in there and then beat it on the sides, that you can still get gold out of it constantly.
Oh yeah, like an old rug. Just beat it like my grandma used to do the rugs over the clothesline.
Right.
You'll be surprised what comes out of it, even when you think it's clean.
Yeah, you just put it in a confined area so you can, get it. But I think John Miller said he just puts it in a 5-gallon bucket and then takes something in there and just beats the matting, and does it a couple times. And he said he's still getting gold out of that daggone thing.
Well, I'm glad you're happy with that dredge.
I am. It's awesome. And you know what? That thing slid right on my trailer.
Oh, it was perfect. It's like it was made.
I had probably a 16th of an inch on both sides, and it pulled right in.
Like the trailer
I'm sorry I had to leave earlier that day. I was hoping to stay there all evening too, but had to get back to the family and everything. And I've been working. Got my 6-inch. It's on the trailer now, which I can use here in Indiana. It's tapered down to 4 inches with custom nozzle and stuff. Which I know the Gold Show's coming up, but I hope to see several of you this coming up weekend if you don't go to the Gold Show.
Okay.
got some decent weather coming. It's supposed to be a little bit cooler, but should be clear, good to go.
Nice.
And like I said, anybody wants my info, you can contact me on Facebook, and I'll send it to you, or whatever, however you.
Tell them your Facebook thing. That way they know how to contact you.
Well, it's Jonathan Perrett, Greensburg, Indiana. Last name spelled Parrett. I already got most of you guys on there, but then I've got a page for Hookmeister Prospecting and Outdoors. That's what it's through on my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I am setting up a YouTube and all that stuff so people can get a hold of videos and get a hold of me more often and stuff. I'll have all that stuff set up. I'm still learning all this Facebook.
Right.
You guys got some crazy stuff on yours. I'm still learning this stuff.
So basically, Little Piece of Paradise is in Indiana, and you're going to be opening it up for people to come in and prospect, basically. So if they're interested, to go ahead and get a hold of you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hook them up with some information of where to go and what to do.
Right. Pricing.
Oh, yeah. Jonathan Perrett. So.
Nice. Very cool, Jonathan. Or Hook.
But also, Hook is what I like going by. Everybody's more than welcome to call me Hook. So, but the phone number, you can give it right now, 765-561-6059.
Very nice. Yeah. So if they miss it, they can listen to the archives. They can hear it again. And it's there.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. So I'm glad you had a great time at the outing, man. You know.
Oh, it was
what
awesome.
did you end
I
up
met
winning,
a lot
Jonathan?
of very interesting people. So.
Mm-hmm.
But.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, and I hope to see more of you. I'd like to get more with the cronies and stuff, and start traveling different places with you guys too as you go different places. I've been doing this for 25 years here in Indiana.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can get up to Indiana sometime next year. It's not going to be this year for me, so
we definitely will.
We'll see what
we
happens
had
next
some
year.
things come up this week with the kids where I can.
Right.
Yeah,
But
when
we
you have
will.
5 of them.
But we will. We'll get down there, Jonathan. No worries, brother. We'll get there.
My property is kid friendly too. I mean, my kids come there all the time. I got a little.
Hey, is
bubber
it teenager
nugget, we
girl
call him.
friendly?
Yeah, it's not the little kids. That's the easy part. It's the teenage kids.
The teenage girls.
Yeah, they don't want no part of that.
There's
camping and
horses.
stuff.
There's horses.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, we'll definitely get down there, Jonathan. No worries, brother. Yeah, we will. We can't wait to get down there and do a little dredging with you for sure. You know, the gold is good and
like
plentiful,
I said.
and we want to get there.
What was that?
I said the gold is good and plentiful, and we want to get there with you and get our share.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
And what is it? You have
More than
access to like
welcome.
seven properties? Is that what you said?
I got total
Seven or
7 properties, yes, that I can take people on to group outings.
Right. See, that's cool.
So yeah, if you're in the area, get a hold of Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
And
If
show
you're,
you.
right, if you're looking for a good place.
It's definitely good gold from what the video that I've seen.
Oh yeah, I've seen the video.
Paradise, some awesome gold there. You know, Dennis was there, and I believe, but somebody went along with Dennis too. Derek, Derek was there too, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been to a couple of my properties. I've got properties that got several different things, like lots of crevicing. Then I've got like Little Piece of Paradise. You can do pretty much everything down there, even metal detect. Got a couple other properties you can do that, but I got properties that's just littered, nothing but flat bedrock with just tons of crevices. So, which makes it fun and interesting. And them small dredges work great in on those properties. So
Right, and you, Kathleen will have to come up with one of the dredge adapters to be able to use for crevices. You know, almost like a vacuum cleaner chute. You know,
are you allowed to?
What do you mean? I've
actually got adapters.
No,
for
like I
several
thought, like in
different
some
sizes.
areas you could only crevice and pan. So, are all your areas? Are you able to dredge?
I've never had no issues, and I've got I got direct contact with the people over the water and sanitary and all the lakes and stuff through the game wardens and stuff. I got his personal contact, and anytime I go into a new area, I contact him, and he will let me know if there's any special rules or regulations or what can be done in those areas. Like the Big Blue River, there's parts of it that you're not even allowed to prospect in, but there's other parts that you can just because of county regulations. But yeah, so you just got to have the right numbers to call.
So you're like the Indiana tour guide for prospecting.
I kind of
so if anybody's interested, just give Jonathan a call.
Mushroom hunting,
sounds good.
Hunting, and all that.
Yeah, well, we'll get there, and hopefully some of the listeners will get down there as well, and maybe they'll beat everybody to it. So, give Jonathan a call if you're interested in a place to go in Indiana. You know, I've known people have asked about good places to prospect in Indiana, so there's the opportunity right there. So, give Jonathan a call. The price is right for sure. I mean, you can't beat the price to come down there and prospect. You know.
And don't you also have equipment that they could rent if they don't have their own?
I have several pieces of equipment that if people just want to make a quick drive, say they got a car and they don't want to bring a truck because of gas or whatever, I got equipment to rent or to even loan under some circumstances because, sometimes people are just traveling through and they get held over and they want to do something. So.
Heck yeah.
I'm more than welcome to help people out. I'm that type of person. So
that is awesome, John.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, thank you, brother. And like I said, it was a pleasure.
Hey, no problem.
Pleasure meeting you, man. And we're glad you made it. You know.
Yep. Thanks
I'm
for calling in, brother.
This weekend, so
great
if anyone wants to go, holler at me.
All right, sounds good, brother. Thank you for calling.
All right, nice talking to all of you, and I'm not going to keep other people from getting a chance to call, so I'll just kick back and listen a little more.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Jonathan.
All right, no problem.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Bye, bud.
Bye.
Very cool. Jonathan, he was at the Crony Club outing. That was nice meeting him. He's got some great property down there. People looking for a place to prospect in Indiana, give him a call. Check him out. You will be happy. For sure. Now,
I think go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I know right now on GPS they're doing some maintenance to the servers and stuff. So some things might look weird or might act weird. So that's all that is. They're working on some things. I know earlier I clicked on the Crony Club page and it was like all white, and it didn't have no pictures. And right now the pictures at the bottom of the main page, they're not working. They're doing some major changes and stuff. So just be patient if things aren't working right. I know last week you'd click to send something and it wouldn't send. You'd have to hit the refresh and it would post. And that's all straightened out. So there's just a bunch of things they're working on. I just want everybody to know, just be patient. It's all good, and it'll be worth the wait. They're just some upgrades, so to speak. So just wanted to get that out there so everybody knew. Okay, Rich, what was you going to say, brother?
Oh, I was going to say, I think Jesse put in there on the site about the gold snare. You know, that gold snare would be good for sniping and his little crevicing and stuff, too.
Yeah, heck yeah. That would be good for it.
Yeah, because they're like 1 inch or whatever. You know, you'd be able to get them down into crevices and be able to suck the material out.
Wonder if you put a little adapter like on mine and Kathleen's dredge with like a
that's what I was talking about.
But
if
I mean,
you use something like the vacuum cleaner. You know, the vacuum cleaner has the small skinny tube like that.
Something like that, or if you put something on that you could adapt a 3/4 inch hose to that you could shove down into the cracks and clean it out. That'd be cool. I'm sure you can.
You could probably take a 1 inch hose and heat it up and be able to shape it to where it's almost flat.
Yeah.
And be able to get it down into the crevice, you know, like that.
That'd be pretty cool.
And then just put an adapter on the end of your nozzle.
Heck yeah, that would be pretty cool. Or I like your idea, that flat vacuum cleaner attachment.
yeah, that would work. I mean,
adapt it to where it fits on our nozzle.
And then all you'd have to do is just pop it off in case you get a clog in it. And
Heck yeah.
That
would be sweet. That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. I know I had a crack there at Bill's last weekend that I would have liked to have been able to get into. And it was like, ooh, I bet there's some good stuff down in there. But nozzle wouldn't go. Like, dang it. So that would have worked perfect. Now, I know a lot of people are aware that Gold Rush premiered Friday night. Big 2-hour premiere. So we're going to have this little spoiler alert for everybody that didn't watch it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. That would be... Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Well, this year anyway, I watched it the other night, and of course, you got the Hoffmans. Now, with the Hoffmans, they're going to be running 3 wash plants was their plan. Okay? 3 of them. Big red.
And they're still in Colorado,
right? They're still in Colorado. Now, Todd's on the gold. I'm going to run 3 wash plants this year. I'm going to beat Parker. So, lo and behold, of course, that didn't work. They had to shut 1 wash plant down. They got served with some kind of a injunction that said the water where they was getting their water from, they couldn't do it, so they had to shut that plant down. So they're running 2 wash plants. And he also made a bet with Parker that he would get 5,000 ounces before Parker. And he bet him 100 ounces that he would. So it's 100
that he would get 500 ounces.
5,000 ounces.
5,000 ounces
before Parker.
He only got 1,000 ounces last year.
Right. Well, now he's saying this year he's going to get 5,000. Yeah. Todd, he's always shooting.
And he's at the same place he was last year.
Yep, same place. So he bet Parker 100 ounces.
What's different?
I don't. Maybe the 3 wash plant thing is different.
Over the winter, he salted the area.
But I thought last year they were running out of areas to prospect over there in Colorado. Unless they got more property or something.
He was saying something about a moving out a little further or something. Maybe that's what it was. But you know how it is. And in 3 wash plants, he figures, I'll get more and get that 5,000 ounces and beat you for a 100-ounce bet. So that's a big bet. I mean. And so anyhow, Parker takes the bet, of course. I mean, he'd be crazy not to. Parker does good. So,
Parker's not really under any gold then, right?
Well, no, he's got to get the 5,000 ounces first.
Oh, Parker has to get the 5,000. Okay.
Yeah, because that's who gets 5,000 ounces first.
Oh, first.
Yeah, of course. Because supposing they both got it, then there'd be no winner. So it's got to be the first one. Whoever gets to 5,000 first wins. So we'll see what happens. I think Parker can do it. But a little spoiler alert. Here's the first spoiler alert. At the end of the show, when they did their cleanup, now Parker had a 202-ounce cleanup for 1 week run, 2 wash plants, 202 ounces. Todd's cleanup, believe it or not, 212 ounces. So he's ahead by 10 ounces so far.
Who Todd is?
Yeah. I was kind of shocked. Well, 212 ounces for Todd. So, but we know how things go around there. We've seen it enough times. So, the wheels are apt to fall off of that bus. And, you know where I'm going with that. But
that's usually what happens too.
Yeah, it is. It usually,
the wheels fall off.
Yeah. It just starts happening. It just gets bad. But on to Parker. Now Parker, he re-upped his lease with Tony Beats on the land that he's working, but he actually acquired a new lease from somebody else with. I think it's over 200 claims on it, and it actually borders Tony's property that Tony is working.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and this is virgin ground, untouched, but the bad thing is, to access it, he's got to drive right through Tony's compound. Ooh. So, and now Tony knows he has this now, so there could be some problems here, coming down the line. Because Tony seemed a little upset about it, and he's like, well, hey, you got to access this property. This is the only way. So is he going to charge Parker royalties to be able to access these? You don't know.
Sounds like it.
You know
Sounds
what I
like
mean? It's like...
Yeah, but Tony's not even in the contest, right?
Right, but, you know, he just is a little upset, it seems like.
Tony's got to make his money, too.
Right,
so.
he's charging Parker 30% royalties on the gold that he gets over there on that property he's leasing from him. And on this new property that Parker got, he's only going to be paying 10% royalties. So that's a huge difference. So, you know, Tony seems a little upset. So you never know. We'll have to see what happens there. I mean, you never know. It could, because we all know it's reality TV. So who knows where that'll wind up. And as for Tony, now Gene Cheeseman is not with him no more.
Oh, really?
No, he's not with him anymore. And I don't know if you guys remember, the guy's been on a couple of the episodes. He's helped move some big equipment for different camps down there. His name was Seamus. And he is actually going to be working with Tony to help get that new dredge took apart, rebuilt, and get it up there to Tony's camp. Seamus, yeah. Remember Seamus?
I've heard that name before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's who's going to be taking apart that dredge, getting it down to Tony's.
But Gene's not there.
Gene's not there no more. Nope, he's gone. So no more Gene Cheeseman. He is not there. So that's the new guy going to be taking care of the new dredge. And so they got the barge launched to get down there to start taking this dredge apart. And he says he should have it running by the end of the year. Have it in operation. So
Dennis is in the chat room, by the way.
Well, hello, Dennis. Yeah, so no Gene.
He's in the chat room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see him in the chat room.
Yeah, I see him in there. And so that
he must be working.
Yeah, he must be. So that's pretty cool. So, you know, just some things, little spoiler alerts to watch out for. I'm going to do this every Sunday, I think. I'm going to give little spoiler alerts for people that didn't see it yet. And so they can say, dang it, Tim, why'd you tell me? Now you know. You're in the know. Right, Kathleen? Ain't that what we like saying?
Well, now I don't have to watch it.
No, now you don't have to watch it now. You're up to date on it.
Because I'm really busy.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
Todd, we don't have cable. So.
Yeah, we don't have cable.
There you go. And Todd put his son in charge of the one wash plant, Big Red. His 18-year-old son is running that plant. And Todd's running one plant. And Freddie Dodge is running the third plant, the one that got shut down.
Oh, what about Dave?
He's not there.
Bulldozer Dave.
Not there.
Oh, Bulldozer Dave's not there
anymore either. Nope. Mm-mm.
I think he's working on something else.
I think he's working on his own venture now, ain't he?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He's out in the desert.
Is he out in the desert?
Yeah, I've seen some stuff on social media where I don't know if it's Arizona or Nevada, but he's somewhere, that's where he's been at least this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no clue if he's going to pop on the show or not.
Right.
That's just what I've seen on the internet, so it's got to be true, right?
It's got to be, if you've seen it on the internet. Hey, I don't doubt it. So, yeah, so I'll keep everybody informed on that stuff throughout the weeks. But I thought it would be pretty interesting just to add that because, yeah, we all watch Gold Rush. Even though it's got a lot of drama, we still watch it. You know? You know? Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do that if you guys want me to. I think it'd be fun.
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, cool. And this is for Dennis. He can't get away from it, even when he ain't here. Hello, Dennis. Jeez. You say he's working tonight, Shad or Rich?
Oh, I just thought he would, because if not, he should have been on the show. But
yeah,
I guess he's working. I don't know.
Yeah, he must be. Oh yeah, let's. Shad, you want to do the gold prices? You got them there, or?
Oh, I can definitely pull them up real quick.
Why don't you pull them up there and give those to everybody so they know the current prices?
Well, the current market prices that you can also find at the bottom of Gold Prospector Space shows that gold is at 1304.
Ooh, okay.
Silver up at $17.41.
Okay.
Platinum also up at $947.
Wow.
Nice.
And that awesome palladium you just can't get enough of is at $987. That's also up.
Man.
Yeah.
Now it's really funny when gold's increasing in price, and when my mom, who I talk to, and she knows I do this, but she doesn't really understand exactly what I do. She's, oh, gold's up, you must be rich. It's like, oh yeah, Mom,
I'm ready to retire. Yeah. It's nice seeing it back over 13 again.
Heck yeah.
13.
I mean, it's up $10, so.
Yeah, that's sweet. 1304, you say, Shad. Very nice. Don't have to let Shad read it more often. Everything was up when Shad reads it. When I read it, it's been down every time I read it. So Shad might be the answer there, guys. So there you go. If until Ron gets back,
climbing again.
Shad, you'll have to read it until Ron gets back. That's your new job title.
Yeah, Dennis said Curse of Oak Island's coming again soon.
Oh, that's
so
right.
He's fascinated.
More pieces of wood and nails.
Find some more wood and nails.
Now, wait
Dennis
a minute.
is fascinated with that show. He loves that show.
I seen something on the internet like Shad did that said they found a pirate chest with some keys and gold in it. So is this true? I just wonder. Or
I don't know.
I don't know.
Tune in. That would actually be worth watching if they did.
Yes. So I don't know yet. So we will have to tune
Yeah.
in.
John Hunt says it starts November 7th. So.
November 7th, Curse of Oak Island. I'll be watching it. I like watching it too. But it just does get to me sometimes. I get tired of seeing the chunk of wood.
I tape it and then I fast forward it through to get to the good parts,
end.
and then-
Yeah, all the way to the end. That's
Yeah.
all you got to watch.
Yeah.
We got wood. Dang. Okay.
I think I watched one episode of that.
Really? That's it?
That was it. Yeah.
Ah, okay. It's pretty interesting, but it gets to you with like the chunks of wood at the end. So, there's a caller. It's our good buddy Ed Marvin calling. Are you there, Ed Rowe?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm upstairs. My phone plugged in, and where I have a signal.
How are you tonight? How you doing tonight?
Oh, not too bad. Kind of bummed that I had to miss the Crony Club outing. It would have been great to have been out on the river with all of you again and the Bogans again.
Yep.
Would have been nice to meet Jonathan face to face. Actually, Jonathan's going to be a guest on the show.
Oh, cool.
On the 31st.
All right. Very nice. See, you would have got to meet him. You would have got to did some digging with us. But you didn't make it.
Yeah, but like I said in the room, he had to go to Florida.
Right.
I had a house full of animals.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yes. Understand that. We know.
And I thought about going down just for the day Saturday, but as you know, that didn't work out.
Right.
So.
Well, you missed a great time, buddy. So, next time.
Oh, I know I did. And Mary, she's a fabulous cook. Man.
Oh, yeah.
He's a lucky man.
Yeah. See?
And Jesse and I had breakfast and dinner with them at Gold Rush Days.
Mm-hmm.
So.
See what you missed? And just hanging out with all these crazy cronies. That's it's never
all
a
of
dull
them
moment.
are probably friends anyway.
Right,
so.
exactly. There's never a dull moment around these guys. You know that. It's
Oh yeah. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
You ain't kidding. Because like I said, Pat and Sue came down for the day, Pat came down and Susie came down later. So that was nice, and so yeah, we missed you, Ed. It would have been great for you to come down.
Well, hopefully to the next one.
Oh yeah, definitely. So what else is happening?
Oh well, as some were chatting in the room when I first was able to log on, David Urich of Columbia River Supplies and the inventor of the Spin It Off is going to be the guest.
Thank you. I couldn't remember
Tuesday night. Our call-in number's working great. John Shaw's called in 2 weeks in a row now, which is excellent. Thank you, John. That's why we got it.
That's right. That's why we have these numbers.
Yeah, and shoot, got a good list of guests coming up. Did a Spare of the Moment Across the Pond special Saturday last night with Pirate Dredger, our good friend. And it was a really fun show, and I
didn't know
really
about that
glad he took part.
So that was just a spur of the moment show?
Well, we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks, and we were going to do it last weekend. And last Friday or Saturday, and he had some family stuff come up.
Right.
So I was doing some editing and stuff and working on switching out my OBS program for the next show, and I've been working on stuff for Across the Pond special anyway, so I had a Scottish flag backdrop and all that and doing stuff, and I just sent him a message via Skype, hey, what are you up to? Are you on? And he came back a little bit later, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, up for doing an Across the Pond special? He's like, sure. I'm like, okay, give me about an hour and a half, and boom.
What's the time difference there?
5 hours.
5 hours ahead of us?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
you know he's up late right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like 2 in the morning there. Jeez. Well, we appreciate him being here listening for sure.
Oh, he's a great guy. You need to go watch the show.
I
I posted it over on GPS.
Okay.
It's an hour and a half-ish, somewhere around there.
Okay.
So.
And David Urich is your guest Tuesday.
Yes, he'll be on the road also. So he's going to take a break from the road to be our guest. And he'll be at the Indiana Gold Show for those that are going to be there. I'm hoping now, Jesse and I are I'm planning on heading down that way either Thursday night or really early Friday morning. And Dano, I need to talk to Dano, but some of us are talking about heading down to Jonathan's, and some of us, we're not sure if we're going to hit somewhere more local or if we're going to head down to Jonathan's, and Jonathan's another hour south.
All right, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I think he's having some kind of outing for anybody that's interested this weekend, I believe, right?
This weekend,
yeah.
I think so.
We've talked about it, and he invited me down, and I'm like, kind of a bad weekend. I'm working the gold show, but I'm just working the panning booths all day Saturday. I don't think I'm going to be there Friday to set up and be there both Saturday and Sunday and tear down like we did last year in Dayton.
Right.
So I want to sometime get on some southern Indiana streams or rivers, you know. So
Right.
I want to do a little playing in the dirt while I can and do my bidding for the chapters. Maybe Sunday do a little networking and talk to Mike Pond and some other people, and maybe see if Kevin Hoagland be interested to be on the show in the future. So I don't know. We'll see what happens then.
Have fun, brother.
I want to get on the river eventually Sunday too.
Now somebody, Ed, might be giving you something to give to me, so be ready, okay? You might have to...
At the Gold Show?
Yeah, somebody might give you something to give to me, all right?
Uh-oh.
No, it's not bad. It's nothing bad. It won't get you put in prison.
Okay.
No, it's all
no
good,
worries,
brother.
And I'll do my best to get it to you.
Well, I figured I'd see you
possible.
before I'd see a lot of people, so I just told them, just give it to Ed. And they said, okay, not a problem.
Yeah,
so
right
because I
on.
knew I'd
Not a
see you
problem,
eventually, and I could get it from you. So no worries.
Oh, all right.
All right, so just a heads up.
No problem,
I
buddy.
appreciate it, my friend. I was going to message you and let you know, but since I got you here, I'll just let you know now. I appreciate it, man.
Excellent.
Thank you, my friend.
Oh,
I do.
Thank you very much, Kathleen, for getting David his gold claw for me.
Yep.
I'm glad you all had a good time, and I'm glad some people found some nice pickers and mini nuggets.
Yep, missed you there.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I miss you guys too. You're just another part of my family,
Yeah. Well,
But,
hopefully soon, Ed, we'll get together and do some digging. We'll make it happen.
well, we will.
Yeah.
We will. Are you going to be at Jonathan's then?
No, this week, no. I'm like you. I'm on pet duty. The wife's going out of town, so I will be home.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that, or I would have been with you guys at Bill's.
Yeah.
But I don't know for sure if we're gonna head that far south or what. But you never know.
Right. You never know.
So.
Awesome, brother.
But I'll get off. Let someone else call in. Thank you for everything you do over there.
You're welcome.
All
Thank you.
All my GPS family. Thank you. And
say it.
Catch the show. Say it.
Say
you
it.
always have a flash in your pan.
All right, Ed. Thanks, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Bye.
Bye, Ed. Oh, Ed Marvin, our good friend, Corn.
Someday I'll meet you on the water.
That's all right. Well, we know he
So I was
can't.
waiting for him to say it.
That's why I tell him, say it. Just say it already. We know you're gonna. You gotta let us have it. Awesome. So you guys got anything else tonight, or we go ahead and wrap it up?
No.
I think we covered
That's all
pretty
I
much
got.
everything, didn't we? I believe we did.
Pretty much.
I think so. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and hanging out with us on this great Sunday night. Be sure to tune in Wednesday for another great show. West Coast Wednesdays, right here, 9 o'clock.
Oh,
go for it.
Be on the lookout for the Cronies Club outing on the YouTube.
Yeah, the video.
The video.
And we'll get it there, and we'll get it here on GPS, and we'll have it everywhere. So be on the lookout for it. It's going to be great. Can't wait to see it. So thanks again, everybody. Have a great week. We'll talk to you all Wednesday. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospectorsradio.com.